Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Miss Mon English Podcast, where we help you speak English with confidence. I'm your host, Miss Mon.
And I'm Ben. Good to be back.
It's wonderful to have you here, Ben. How has your week been treating you? You look a little, shall we say, more energetic than usual.
You think so? Well, honestly, Mon, it's been a bit of a whirlwind. I actually just moved apartments this week. You know how stressful moving can be. Endless boxes, bubble wrap everywhere, and the mysterious disappearance of my favorite coffee mug. But now that I'm settled in, I feel like I've hit a refresh button. New place, new vibes. How about you? How's life in your world?
Oh, a whirlwind indeed. Moving is exhaustive. My week has been surprisingly steady, thankfully. I've been trying to reorganize my workspace to boost my productivity, which actually brings us perfectly to today's topic.
Ah, I see what you did there. Smooth transition.
I try. Today, we are diving deep into daily routines and habits. We aren't just talking about brushing teeth and eating breakfast. We want to explore the psychology of our days, how we structure our lives, the battles we fight against procrastination, and the rituals that keep us sane.
I love this topic. It's funny because everyone has a routine, even if that routine is having no routine. But discussing it in English requires some specific vocabulary to describe feelings, energy levels, and time management.
Exactly. So grab your coffee, or tea if you're like me, and let's get started. So, Ben, let's start at the very beginning. The alarm clock rings. Are you a morning person, or are you someone who hits the snooze button 5 times?
Oh, Mon, this is a sensitive subject. Look, I aspire to be a morning person. I have this romanticized vision of myself, waking up at the crack of dawn, doing yoga as the sun rises, and journaling my profound thoughts. But the reality? It's much grimmer.
Grim. That sounds dramatic. Paint the picture for us.
Okay, so usually my alarm goes off at 7 a.m. In my head, I know I should get up, but my body feels like it's made of lead. It's cozy, the blankets are warm, and the world outside feels cold and demanding. So I inevitably hit snooze. When I finally drag myself out of bed around 7:30, I'm pretty groggy. I stumble into the kitchen like a zombie from a horror movie. My brain doesn't actually turn on until that first sip of coffee hits my system. It's my non-negotiable fuel.
I can picture that vividly. You know, I used to be the same, but recently I've tried to turn over a new leaf. I realized that starting the day in a rush made me feel anxious for the rest of the day. So I've started waking up an hour earlier than necessary.
An hour earlier? On purpose? That sounds painful.
It was at first, but now I cherish the solitude. The house is completely silent. I don't look at my phone. That is a strict rule. No emails, no social media. I just sit by the window, watch the light change, and mentally prepare for the chaos ahead. It helps me set the tone for the day. If I rush, I feel like I'm chasing time. If I slow down, I feel in control.
That sounds incredibly peaceful, actually. I think my problem is that I check my phone immediately. The moment I open my eyes, I'm bombarded with notifications, news, and messages. It puts my brain into a reactive state rather than a proactive one.
That is a very common trap. We call that doom scrolling sometimes, though that's usually at night. But in the morning, letting the world invade your brain before you've even brushed your teeth is a recipe for stress.
You're right. I need to work on that. I think for me, the preparation actually starts the night before. If I don't lay out my clothes or pack my bag the previous evening, my morning is a disaster. I end up running around like a headless chicken looking for my keys.
Running around like a headless chicken. What a great image. But yes, preparation is key. It reduces the decision fatigue in the morning. You don't want to waste willpower deciding what to wear. You want to save that energy for your actual work. Hello, learners. Let's pause for a moment and analyze some of the excellent vocabulary Mon and Ben just used. Number 1, crack of dawn. This is an idiom that means very early in the morning, right when the sun is beginning to rise. Example, Farmers often wake up at the crack of dawn to tend to their animals. Number 2, groggy. This is an adjective describing the feeling of being weak, unsteady, or unable to think clearly, usually because you just woke up or are sick. Example, I felt incredibly groggy after taking that long nap in the afternoon. Number 3, turn over a new leaf. This is a classic idiom. It means to start behaving in a better way, to start a new habit, or to make a fresh start. Example, after years of eating junk food, he decided to turn over a new leaf and start a healthy diet. Number 4, set the tone. This phrase means to establish a particular mood or character for an event or period of time. Example, the manager's positive speech set the tone for the rest of the meeting. All right, Ben, so we've survived the morning, we are caffeinated, we are dressed. Now comes the main event, the workday. How do you structure your productivity?
Well, since I work casually as a freelancer and content creator, structure is my best friend and my worst enemy. If I don't create a schedule, I will literally stare at a wall for 3 hours. I try to use a technique called time blocking. Have you heard of it?
I have. That's where you assign specific chunks of time to specific tasks, right?
Exactly. So from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., that is my deep work block. I put my phone in another room, I put on noise-canceling headphones, and I just write. No distractions. I find that my brain is sharpest in the morning. If I try to do creative writing at 4 p.m., it's garbage. It's just terrible.
I totally agree. I am definitely cognitively sharper in the morning. I usually try to eat the frog first thing.
For our listeners who might be confused, Mon is not actually eating amphibians. Please explain that one.
No frogs were harmed. Eat the frog is a productivity concept based on a quote by Mark Twain. It means doing your most difficult, most dreaded task first thing in the morning. If you do the hardest thing first, the rest of the day feels easy by comparison. If I put off a difficult email or a complex report, it hangs over my head like a dark cloud all day.
That is such good advice. I'm guilty of procrastination. I often do the easy stuff first, checking emails, tidying my desk, because it feels like I'm being productive, but really I'm just avoiding the big work.
It's called productive procrastination. We've all been there. But what about the afternoon? Do you experience that post-lunch energy dip?
Oh, the dreaded afternoon slump. It hits me like a freight train around 2 p.m. After lunch, especially if I've had something heavy like pasta, my brain just shuts down. I find myself staring at my computer screen, reading the same sentence 3 times without understanding it.
The slump is real. Physiologically, our body temperature drops slightly in the afternoon, which signals sleepiness. How do you combat it? Do you reach for more coffee?
I used to, but I realized that caffeine that late just messes up my sleep at night. So now I try to get moving. I'll go for a brisk 15-minute walk outside. The fresh air and the physical movement usually help me catch a second wind. If I can't go outside, I'll switch to low-energy tasks. I'll do admin work, reply to comments, or organize files, things that don't require heavy creative lifting.
That's a smart strategy. Matching your tasks to your energy levels is crucial. I actually find that hydration helps too. Often when we feel tired, we are actually just dehydrated. A big glass of cold water with lemon can be surprisingly revitalizing.
Look at you being the healthy influence. But you're right, it's about listening to your body. There's no point trying to force your brain to do complex algebra when it's screaming for a rest. Sometimes I just set a timer for 20 minutes and do a power nap.
Power naps are controversial. Some people wake up refreshed, others wake up feeling worse.
It's a gamble, Mon. It's high-stakes napping. But when it works, you feel like a new person. You're ready to knuckle down for the final stretch of the day.
Knuckle down. I like that. It implies serious focus. My afternoons are usually filled with meetings or teaching, so the social interaction keeps me awake. I feed off the energy of other people. If I were working alone in a quiet room at 3 p.m., I'd probably fall asleep on my keyboard.
Let's analyze the productivity language used in that section. Number 1, eat the frog. This is a metaphor for tackling your most difficult or unpleasant task as the very first thing you do in the day, to get it out of the way. Example, I have to write a difficult report, so I'm going to eat the frog and do it before I check my email. Number 2, second wind. This is a noun phrase describing a return of strength or energy that makes it possible to continue an activity or effort. Example, I was exhausted at mile 10 of the marathon, but I got a second wind and finished strong. Number 3, knuckle down. This is a phrasal verb, meaning to start working very hard or applying yourself seriously to a task. Example, exams are next week, so it's time to stop partying and knuckle down. Number 4, slump. In this context, a slump is a sudden decrease in activity, energy, or performance. Example, every day at 3 p.m. I hit an energy slump and need a snack.
We've navigated the morning and conquered the workday. Now, let's talk about the evening. This is often where the best-laid plans fall apart. Do you have a strict evening routine, Ben?
Ideally, yes. Realistically, no. The evening is my danger zone. After a long day of using my brain, my willpower is depleted. I have zero self-control left. I intend to read a book or learn French, but I usually end up on the sofa, scrolling through social media, or binge-watching a TV series I've already seen.
Yes. It's the need to decompress. But sometimes the way we relax doesn't actually rest our brains, does it?
Exactly. Watching fast-paced videos creates a dopamine loop, but it doesn't make me feel rested. It leaves me feeling wired but tired. I think my biggest challenge is calling it a day. I have trouble separating work from life, especially working from home. I'll check emails at 9 p.m., which is a terrible habit. It keeps my brain in work mode.
That boundary is so important. You need a ritual to signal to your brain that the workday is done. For me, I change my clothes immediately. I take off my work clothes and put on loungewear. It's a physical signal that says, Miss Mon is off duty. Then I cook. Cooking is meditative for me. Chopping vegetables helps me unwind.
See, I hate cooking. For me, cooking is a chore. But I see what you mean about the boundary. I've been trying to implement a digital sunset.
Oh, that sounds fancy. What is a digital sunset?
It means at a certain time, say 9:30 p.m., all screens go off. Laptop closed, phone on charge in the kitchen, not the bedroom, and TV off. It forces me to do analog things. I might tidy up the apartment, listen to a podcast, or actually read that book gathering dust on my shelf.
That requires incredible discipline, but the impact on sleep quality must be huge.
Undeniably. When I actually stick to it, I sleep like a baby. When I don't and I stare at blue light until midnight, I toss and turn. It's a constant battle. We are creatures of habit, but unfortunately, we are often creatures of bad habits.
True. My advice to our listeners who are struggling to build a new English learning routine specifically is don't rely on motivation. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings change. Rely on discipline and habit stacking.
Habit stacking? Is that like stacking pancakes? Because I'm interested.
I wish. Habit stacking is attaching a new habit to an old one. For example, if you drink coffee every morning, old habit, decide that you will learn 3 new English words while you drink that coffee. New habit. You don't have to find time for it, you just attach it to something you already do.
That is brilliant. It removes the friction. You don't have to think, oh, I must study now. You just think, coffee time is study time.
Exactly. Small, consistent actions beat big, intense bursts of effort you can't maintain. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Wise words, Juan. I think I'm going to try habit stacking tonight. When I brush my teeth, I will do squats.
Multitasking at its finest. Just don't choke on your toothpaste, Ben.
I'll be careful, I promise. Here is our final round of vocabulary for this episode. Number 1, call it a day. A very common idiom used to express that you are finished working on something for the present time. Example, we've been working for 10 hours, let's call it a day and go home. Number 2, unwind. To relax after a period of work or tension. Imagine a tight spring loosening up. Example, listening to classical music is my favorite way to unwind after a stressful day. Number 3, creature of habit. A person who likes to do the same things at the same time every day and feels uncomfortable with change. Example, My grandfather is a creature of habit. He eats the exact same breakfast every single morning. Number 4, habit stacking. A productivity strategy where you identify a current habit you already do each day and then stack your new behavior on top. Example, by using habit stacking, I learned to floss my teeth every time I brush them.
Well, Ben, I feel surprisingly motivated after this chat. I think I'm going to go double-check my to-do list for tomorrow.
And I'm going to go attempt that digital sunset we talked about. Wish me luck.
Good luck, Ben. And to our wonderful listeners, thank you for tuning in. We hope this conversation gave you some useful vocabulary to describe your own daily life.
We have a question for you all. What is one habit you are trying to break and one habit you are trying to build? Let us know in the comments section below. We love reading your stories.
Yes, please share. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like, subscribe to Miss Mon English, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a lesson.
Keep practicing, keep stacking those habits, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye for now.
See ya!